Namaste, spiritual seekers. I am Archana Raghuram and welcome back to Temples, Books and Science. In our last video, we began to uncover the immense power of the sacred Du names within the Lalita Sahasranamam, which beautifully invoke the Divine Mother Durga. In this video, part 27 of our Lalita Sahasranamam series, we'll continue our exploration of this powerful group of names that encode the sacred Durga Mantra. The next name in this series, the 193rd name of the Lalita Sahasranamam, is Dushtadoora. This name literally translates to she who is far away from the wicked, or the one who keeps wicked people far away from her. In a literal sense, it implies that the Divine Mother cannot be accessed or reached by those who embody evil. If you wish to draw close to her, you must cleanse yourself of negative tendencies like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc. and the underlying ignorance that gives rise to them. Now, a question arises. How can the goddess be far away from anyone? As we have seen time and again, Swatmaiva Devata Prokta Lalita Vishwa Vigraha. Lalita is our true self, our innermost essence. How can she possibly be far away from anyone? So, why is she described as Dushtadoora? It's not that the Divine Mother actively distances herself. Rather, it's our own negative tendencies that create this perceived distance. If our minds are clouded by Arishad Vargas, the 6 internal enemies like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam, then she, Lalita Tripurasundari, who is our true nature, becomes obscured and seemingly far from our grasp. These qualities are precisely what makes us Dushtas in a spiritual sense. These internal impurities act as thick veils, binding us within the illusion of Maya and preventing us from realizing her ever-present proximity. That's why our Upanishads describe the Atma as Tad Dure Tad Vantike, that which is simultaneously incredibly close and incredibly far. To truly be close to her and to know her as our own true self, we must actively strive to overcome these negative tendencies. Luckily, this is not a journey we need to undertake alone. As we have learned through names like Papa Nashini, destroyer of sins, Krodha Shamani, pacifier of anger, and Lobha Nashini, destroyer of greed, she alone possesses the power to destroy these internal enemies, these dushtas within us. When we surrender to her and invoke her grace, she removes these very obstacles, allowing us to realize her unwavering presence as our own true self, our Atma. Next, we arrive at the 194th name, Durachara Shamani. This significant name translates to she who destroys evil practices. Now the question arises, what precisely defines evil practices and why is their elimination so vital for our spiritual progress? Let's first understand Durachara in simple terms. These evil practices are actions that spring directly from our negative inner tendencies such as kama, desire, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, moha, delusion, madha, pride, and matsaryam, envy. These are the actions that push us away from our true divine nature. In stark contrast, sadachara or good practices are born from inner goodness, manifesting as virtues like selfless service, generous charity, pure kindness, and deep compassion. Why is sadachara so vital? We have consistently learned that our identification with the physical body is a primary source of sorrow and the very root of ignorance. Yet, here's the paradox. This same body and mind are also the most potent instruments we possess to overcome that ignorance and attain liberation. When we consciously use our physical body and mental faculties to cultivate goodness and systematically eliminate negative tendencies, our lives transform into a powerful pathway for spiritual freedom. By engaging in Sadachara, we truly utilize this invaluable human birth for the ultimate pursuit of moksha or liberation. Let's now understand the true meaning of achara. Often, achara is simply interpreted as customs, rituals, or traditions. However, our scriptures offer a more expansive and universal definition. According to our ancient texts, every human being incurs a significant debt to five essential entities. First, to the Devas or gods for granting us this incredibly rare and precious human birth. As scriptures proclaim, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam. Among living beings, human birth is extremely rare. Second, we owe a debt to the rishis, our sages and teachers, for preserving and transmitting the invaluable spiritual knowledge that guides us. Third, to our pitrus, or ancestors, who gave us birth and nurtured our lineage. Fourth, to Manushya, our fellow human beings, for the interconnectedness of society and mutual support. And finally, to the Bhutas, all living beings, for their role in the sustenance and balance of the natural world. Our scriptures mandate that every single day of our lives we must acknowledge and give back to these five entities. This sacred obligation is known as Panchamahayajna, the five great sacrifices. To make it easy for us, our ancient traditions have beautifully woven these yajnas into our daily lives. From waking up and making a kolam with rice powder to feed insects and birds, to watering the sacred tulsi plant, beginning our day with a gratitude to the divine, and feeding the needy during all rituals. These acts are pure sadachara, ensuring that we give back to the ecosystem that sustains us. Durachara is precisely the opposite of all this. It is defined as actively engage in actions we are not supposed to do, known as avihitam, and crucially failing to perform the actions we are mandated to do, which is vihitam. This includes neglecting Panchamahayajnas, harming fellow human beings, destroying nature, forgetting to be grateful for all our blessings, ill-treating parents and elders, or neglecting learning and education. All these fall under the category of Durachara. The importance of this is beautifully emphasized in the Palastuti of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Achara Prabhavo Dharmo, meaning good conduct or Sadachara is the greatest dharma. Ultimately, Sadachara enables us to shed the doshas and negative tendencies that keep us bound in ignorance. And this is where the goddess Lalita Tripurasundari, as Durachara Shamani, the destroyer of bad practices, becomes our ultimate guide. It is through her grace and by embodying Sadachara that we overcome these internal obstacles. Now, I want to make an important observation about the way this name is chanted. When chanting this sacred name, it is crucial to remember that Durachara Shamani is a single unified name. A common mistake is to pause after Durachara, effectively separating it and unknowingly calling the goddess Durachara, which means evil practice. Therefore, always chant it together as Durachara Shamani, maintaining the continuous flow, as in Dushtadoora Durachara Shamani Dosha-varjitā, not Dushtadoora Durachara Shamani Dosha-varjitā. Let's now move on to the next name, the 196th name, Dosha-varjitā. This name literally translates to she who is free from all evil. It's a powerful affirmation of Lalita Devi's absolute purity, her inherent flawlessness, and her transcendence of every imperfection. In my last video, we explored the concept of Jiva Bhava, the illusion that we are merely this limited body and mind. We examined the various flaws or doshas that characterize it. These include raga, attachment, mada, pride, moha, delusion, mamata, possessiveness, papa, sins, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, samshaya, doubt, bhava, the cycle of birth and death, beda, duality, and mrityu, death. We even saw how specific names in the Sahasranamam like Raga Madani, Madanashini, Krodha Shamani signified her power to destroy these very afflictions. The Divine Mother herself, however, is entirely untouched by these doshas. It is precisely because she is free from all these imperfections that she is called Dosha-varjitā, the flawless one. She is Nitya Mukta Swarupini, eternally and ever liberated. The placement of Dosha-varjitā immediately after Dushtadoora and Durachara Shamani is incredibly significant. Devi's immense power to address and eliminate both external negativity and our internal impurities, as described by Dushtadoora and Durachara Shamani, doesn't come from an external source. Rather, it stems directly from her own absolute inherent purity. Her boundless ability to purify us and guide us to liberation is deeply rooted in her own utter flawlessness. Thus, Dosha-varjitā stands as the ultimate divine ideal. It signifies the perfect, unblemished nature of the Supreme Consciousness, Lalita Tripurasundari. Realizing her as Dosha-varjitā helps the devotee to recognize their own inherent purity. The next name, Sarvajñā, meaning she who knows everything, points to an attribute of the Divine Mother that is not merely vast knowledge but fundamental omniscience. To truly grasp why omniscience is a core characteristic of Brahman, let's again turn to the famous dream analogy from Vedanta. Imagine yourself in a vivid dream. You perceive people, places, and events. Now ask yourself, can anything in that dream world exist independently of you, the dreamer? Can a tree stand or a person speak or a river flow in your dream without you at some level being aware of it? The answer is a resounding no. In fact, everything you experience in that dream, every sight, sound and feeling exists because you are dreaming it. You are not merely observing the dream, you are its creator, its sustainer, and its sole witness. There is no aspect of your dream world that can fall outside your awareness because its very existence is your consciousness. The moment you stop witnessing an object in your dream or when you wake up, that object ceases to exist within the dream. As far as your dream world is concerned, you are by nature omniscient. Your knowledge of the dream world is not acquired, it is inherent because you are the dream world's substance and awareness. Let's now expand on this powerful concept and apply it to Brahman, the supreme consciousness principle from which our waking universe, the world of Maya, arises. Just as you, the dreamer, are the underlying reality and awareness of your dream, Brahman is the foundational reality and consciousness of this entire universe. Every object, every being, every event in this cosmos exists precisely because Brahman is witnessing it, sustaining it, and indeed is its very essence. This is why the foundational definition of Brahman is Sat, meaning existence. It is Brahman, the witnessing consciousness, that lends existence to every object in the world. What Brahman doesn't witness does not exist. And that is why Brahman is Sarvajñā, omniscient. Therefore, Brahman doesn't learn about the universe or gain knowledge from it. Instead, Brahman is the awareness that illuminates all existence. Omniscience is not an attribute that Brahman possesses. It is inherent to what Brahman is as the universal consciousness. Sandra Karuna. The term Sandra means intense, abundant, or profound, and Karuna is commonly translated as compassion or mercy. So, at its simplest, Sandra Karuna means she who is profoundly compassionate. But as with all Sanskrit words, there is a deeper layer to Karuna. It is derived from the root kara, meaning to do or to make. This is crucial. It tells us that Karuna isn't just a passive feeling of pity or sadness. Instead, it indicates an active form of compassion. Divine compassion, therefore, is not a static emotional state. It is an inherently active and transformative force. The precise placement of Sandra Karuna within the Sahasranamam is highly significant. Just consider this beautiful progression. First, her omniscience, Sarvagnya, then her profound compassion, Sandra Karuna, and finally her unparalleled supremacy, Samānādhika-varjitā. This reveals deep interconnectedness. Her compassion is incredibly effective and all-encompassing precisely because she possesses complete understanding of all suffering due to her omniscience. She knows every nuance of pain, every cause, every effect. Furthermore, she has the unlimited capacity to act without any constraint due to her unparalleled supremacy. No obstacle can impede her will or her ability to alleviate suffering. This arrangement of names elevates divine compassion from a mere sentiment to a fundamental principle inherent in the very fabric of supreme reality. It's not just that she feels compassion, she is compassion, and that compassion is effective because of the divine wisdom and power she possesses. There is a very important corollary to this name. Sandra Karuna is also the very nature of a realized, liberated soul. We have already discussed before that once the knowledge that you are not this body and mind, but the all-pervading, eternal, limitless Brahman becomes your living reality, you attain Sarvatma Bhava. In essence, Sarvatma Bhava is the direct experiential realization that your true self is not confined to your individual form. Instead, it is identical with the entire universe, with all beings, and ultimately with Brahman itself. It signifies the complete dissolution of the perceived boundaries between I, you, and it, leading to the recognition of an unbroken, seamless oneness. It is a state of freedom from the illusion of separateness, assuring in boundless love, profound peace, and unwavering wisdom. So, what does this translate to in practical terms? It means your love and compassion for the whole world and all beings in it becomes as intense and inexhaustible as your self-love. The kind of profound compassion and unconditional love you naturally have for your own self now effortlessly extends to the entire cosmos. Therefore, Sandra Karuna becomes your very nature too. In fact, that's precisely how we recognize a truly realized soul, by their deep, active, and boundless compassion for all. Samānādhika-varjitā. Directly translated, Samānādhika-varjitā means she who has none equal or superior. This isn't just a statement of power, it's a profound declaration of ultimate reality. In fact, we find this exact same description in the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna is described with the words, Natvat samosthyabhyadikaha, meaning there is none equal to or greater than you. Indeed, Samānādhika-varjitā is a quality that inherently belongs to Nirguna Brahman, the ultimate reality beyond all attributes and distinctions. The absolute supreme truth cannot possibly have any other entity that could be considered equal to it, let alone superior. This name reaffirms that Goddess Lalita Tripurasundari, in her highest aspect, is that very non-dual, attributeless Brahman. You might also notice that Samānādhika-varjitā is identical in meaning to another name we encountered earlier, the 184th name, Niṣṭhulā. This name too means she is incomparable. These two names, Niṣṭhulā and Samānādhika-varjitā, beautifully mark the beginning and end of a group of 15 names that subtly encode the powerful Durga Navarna Mantra. We discussed this in our last video, part 26 of the Lalita Sahasranamam. These names and the profound mantra they contain are designed to lead us to the ultimate spiritual destination, the Brahma Padavi. This is known as Paramagamyam, the supreme goal, or Parandhamam, the ultimate abode. Since there is truly nothing greater than or equal to this ultimate destination, it is profoundly meaningful that the names marking the beginning and end of this sacred section convey precisely this meaning, the incomparable and unparalleled nature of the ultimate reality itself. Furthermore, the name Samānādhika-varjitā marks a significant transition within the Lalita Sahasranamam. It marks the conclusion of our deep dive into the Nirguna Brahman tattvam, the attributeless transcendent aspect of the goddess, which began with the 132nd name Niradhara. For those of you who found these Nirguna names perhaps a bit abstract or challenging to grasp, I have wonderful news. From the very next name, we will once again begin to explore the goddess in her Saguna form, her aspect with attributes, manifest forms, and divine qualities that are much more relatable and accessible. The upcoming set of names will undoubtedly be more easier and perhaps even more delightful to understand and connect with. However, you might have to wait just a little longer for our next session. This week, I'm incredibly excited to be embarking on the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, something I've been dreaming about for many years. I am truly going to the home of Shiva and Shakti, and I simply cannot wait. After I return, I hope to share my experience of the Kailash Darshan and Parikrama with all of you, and then we will recommence our exploration of the Lalita Sahasranamam. If you have enjoyed this discussion and are looking forward to my upcoming experiences and future videos, please do like this video and share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to press the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. Your support means the world to me and helps me continue this beautiful journey together with you. May the Sarvajna Lalita Tripurasundari, with her Sandra Karuna, illuminate your path and dissolve all obstacles. May her unparalleled grace effortlessly guide you to Brahma Padavi, the realization of your inherent oneness and the boundless bliss of liberation. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.